My angels, it is story time. It's Tuesday. I don't know when you're watching this, but it's Tuesday for me, and I'm just gonna say it's really nice to see you, and I'm really sorry to have to tell you that I've been a huge pussy, like huge. I'm ashamed of myself, and I'll get over that, but and I have so much makeup on today because I got no sleep last night. So guys, I don't know what guys do. I love being a girl. I love being able to fix the problem on your face. Anyways, yeah, I posted a video last night, 3 a.m. that took me so long to do, and I struggled and then I edited and I wrestled, and then I didn't sleep very well, and then I woke up full of doubt, watched the video, and just took it down. And one person viewed it, and so whoever you are, my love, you would have seen my post. I don't know what you thought about it. It may to you have been like, yeah, that's just how she is. But to me, when I watched it, and what I was struggling with was how heavy it felt. You guys, we have been through so much heaviness. I feel a responsibility on this channel that it would be a place where you could come for some water and some refreshment. And I never want to put anything out that like in any way releases heaviness or fear. Does that make sense? So having said that, why did I say I was a pussy? Because I basically struggled with the whole concept of it, which was about battle, spiritual battle, which I don't talk about a lot, and took it down after so many confirmations about posting it. Then I had my morning meditation time, and before I was on a walk, before I did that, a video came through to me of somebody I really respect, and they were saying the same flippin' thing. And they left their video up, and I took mine down. Which just goes to tell you, we've all got a pussy inside of us. Okay, I don't even know what that means. I'm just gonna try to press on. Are you ready? I do genuinely want you to feel refreshed. January, leading up to it, this last week of December, man, I think for all my life, this has always been such a difficult week. It's a strange week. It's like, you know that there's a new beginning, but you're kind of still closing off some cycles. Anyways, on top of that, I really believe, and I can say this with some more confidence now, there's been some external oppositional stuff coming at us. Okay, now you would not be watching my channel if you are not interested in spiritual things, awakened, you are connected, okay, spiritually, vertically, horizontally. I believe that. Also, because like attracts like, and whatever you guys find here on this channel is because it is within you, and I want to remind you of that. This is a place where I believe, you know, it's a resource to nourish the things that are already going on inside of you, who you already are. So if I'm doing my job, then I am encouraging you, supporting you, building you up, challenging you, provoking you, whatever. That's my job. That's my job as a mother as well in my home. So what I want to tell you, and I'm debating even as I post this video, if I should just go back and post the old video or if I should give you the rundown. And I'm going to try to give you the rundown and see how it goes, okay? I was basically telling you that I didn't post on Sunday because I was struggling so badly. I had something come over me in the evening and I couldn't shift it. It got heavier and heavier, and I was saying to you guys in the other video, like 95% of the time, the opposition's really coming from within. It's managing our mindsets, and 100% of the time, the battle is won, right? right here in our mind, be it with ourselves or between us and God or whatever. But 5% of the time, and my statistics, you guys, are generals. Okay, whoop, generals. Don't hit things, Autumn. 5% of the time, there is an external enemy. There's an enemy of our soul. And let's not be, I'm not going to be silly. I will not, you won't hear me like enthroning or building a lot of like enemy vibes up on my channel. You won't see that. But equally, I'm not silly. And I love that line from The Matrix that's like, the biggest trick the devil ever played was making people think that he didn't exist, right? Truth. Okay, there is an enemy and we don't need to be ignorant of it. At the same time, as I was saying in my other video, the reason why, and I studied demonology at Oxford, so it's not lost on me, okay? My dissertation was on the floods, it was on the fallen Nephilim, unclean spirits, blah, 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 blah. I'm not in denial or unaware of demonic stuff, okay, or the enemy, as people say, but that is because I have studied so much, because I have done papers on who is the Hasatan character in Job, who is the Satan character that Christ encounters in the wilderness. Like, I know this stuff from an academic perspective. I also know real battle, okay, but I've had encounters with demonic entities since I was like a wee thing, you know, teenager doing drugs, getting like completely like bombarded. And so I have lots of experience with it, and I have some like logical analysis with it, right? But I don't think it's helpful ever to focus on the enemy, ever. Even if you're in the middle of an attack, it's not helpful. So I'm certainly not going to focus on it. So why am I even talking about it? Because what the hell do we do when we're actually in a moment where we are so overwhelmed with fear, we're being oppressed, and that's not helpful if I don't tell you what to do either. So, you know me, I could be a little long-winded. I kind of just want to chat. It's not just, it took me a long time to tell you the story, but basically I was walking around praying like, God, should I actually share this story? Do you really want me to put this out there? Like, people are already in this week. I don't want to bum people out, but this is what's happening to me right now, right? And I always say to you guys, I'm like a vessel for you. So is this something you want me to share? Out on a walk with my dog, turned a corner, and I cannot make this up. A guy walks out of his house, and all I see is this like white figure. And I say white because there's pale people, and then there's whatever that was. I think it was an actual person who was embodying something, because it was bizarre. Anyways, there's nobody else on the street. It's just me and them, right? And they're interacting, I think, also with something going on inside this house, right? So I'm like feeling it all. But they shout out, just tell me what I'm supposed to do. Okay? And I'm like, awkward, you know? And then they go in the house. And I'm just thinking this is something going on, as you would. They come back out of the house. And they shout out loud, just leave us alone, right? But looking at me. Or at least I think they're looking at me. I'm not, it's so far, I'm just like, I'm looking, I'm the only one standing there. So I'm pretty sure this was something that I'm encountering. And I'm sitting here praying about, do you want me to talk about external opposition and like demonic stuff? So clearly it was a manifestation. I told the story better on my other video, but I'm not going to try to go into it. It doesn't matter. It was confirmation to me that that this is something we need to talk about. So I then went into lots of other stories, and at the end of the day in that video, the takeaway was here's what you do. This is not about your normal opposition, okay? Normally, if you are being opposed, like Christ is in the desert, coming out of that wilderness period, there's 3 particular attempts. He is preempting it, right? We know that because he's fasting. There is a preparation to it. This is very kind of strategic what's going on. And that's true in our lives too. And a lot of times the Spirit is building us up, preparing us, blah, blah, blah. And then we get some opposition and we want to fight it always with truth in our mind and being ready to align our correct belief system, the truth, right? What God thinks about you, what's true, the higher perspective. We want to apply it and it will dissipate, right? Okay. Sometimes you got to go at it, but the truth will take care of it. Okay. Then there's the other kind. The other kind is, I'm so heavily oppressed that the first thing you will notice is you are manifesting fear. Fear is 100% of the time accompanied with it. And it's an irrational amount of fear. And second, I would say confusion. Confusion to the point where you can't be asked to think of what is the truth, if that makes sense. Okay, let me get some water. We don't want to try to be logical in these cases. Now, for me, I went out when I was going through this over Sunday night. I went and walked. I was telling you guys in the video that I have a prayer language. I call it my native tongue because it feels the most natural thing to me. And it comes up and out when I'm either in a battle, like a spiritual battle, it will naturally come out. Or if I'm overwhelmed, right? It's a sort of a strange external protection and it bypasses your mind, okay? This language, it is a gift from God, okay? And if you want it, you can have it, just ask for it. But for me, it's kind of like, so I was telling you guys as well about this study that's done. This is such a key, and I'm never going to say we should all have the same spiritual practices or whatever, but I'm also going to tell you this is a powerful weapon that is doing 2 different things. It's praying the words of the Holy Spirit, first of all, so you don't have to try to think of what the right words are, what the right prayers are, what's the truth. It's bypassing all of that. It's going straight to the Spirit and just speaking out whatever sounds and words, and that will shift things. That has authority and it has power. And you will watch it happen. You will watch yourself shift the atmosphere around you. But there was a study done some years ago, and I would have to go find it, but I was so impressed with it because it was researchers who were actually hooking people up and testing their physiology as they prayed, meditated, did different spiritual practices. And people who spoke in a spirit language, when they hooked them up, and they could watch different parts of their brains light up. And the researchers said that speaking in your spirit language is like a bubble bath for the brain. It has the same effects. It is doing 2 things then. It's actually doing a form of spiritual warfare, right? Externally, but inside, not only is it not overwhelming you, but it is soothing and healing your own brain. Okay? Amazing. Your mind, right? And we all know when we're being attacked, the very first, the most agreed upon marker would be that we all feel like we're losing our effing minds. Okay? It's scary, right? All right. That's what the whole video was about. I was telling you guys the 3 strategies for that I would give to you, and this is not clinical, this is my experience, this is what works for me. Number 1, it is not about getting really authoritative and puffed up. That can actually make you feel more scared, because there's a humility response that's a protection. When the creature is being oppressed like that, the creature runs to the Creator and hides beneath the shadow of the wing, beneath the shelter. That is the moment when you just run to God. You do not try to be too big for your britches. You get low, right? And you just say, help, like, help, I need your help. And the second thing I was telling you guys was obviously speak in your spirit language if you can. That will help to soothe the moment. And then what was the other thing I was saying to you? The third thing was just to rest and try to recover your energy physically. All right. The point of what I was wanting to have the whole conversation about with you, which is what you need to know, is it's really important to remind you guys that you are also warriors, okay? We're here to bring the kingdom of God, right? And as we go, the ground that we're taking is generational ground. We were not the first ones here, and we're not the last ones. And you have to remember that. It's really the biggest thing I want you, if nothing else from this video, remember that you're fighting for something right now that's bigger than you. It's truly bigger than you. Deuteronomy 5 talks about how the sins of the fathers are visited upon the sons, right? To the third and fourth generations, it says in the Hebrew. There are other concepts. Eastern concepts talk about karma, right? The point is, take this if you can hear this. The earth does not forget spilled blood. The earth does not forget sexual sins. The earth does not forget broken covenants. What we are so disconnected from that the ancient world was not, because they believed their actions directly affected nature, okay? And the cycles of life. We don't. We're really disconnected from that. It doesn't make it not true. Okay, so what am I saying? Our family lines that we're born into, they're handing us things. They're handing us things we're really proud of, and they're handing us things that we need to put a stop to, okay? And I think that I used the example of sexual sin in the past video because it helps from a compassionate view to think of the child who has been passed on the curse, if you will, of sexual abuse, right? That child then grows up and they have two options. They either become, if they don't heal, if they don't bring it to a stop, they either become a hurt person who's hurting people out of their own wounds, or they become the abuser who's abusing people out of the wound, out of the sin. Either way, it's not nothing that happens. It's not nothing. Okay, you're embodying so much power. And I would go so far to say that if you're watching this channel, you are the breaker. You are the breaker. And it's like if you have a group of siblings, okay, there's one among the siblings who will just kind of rise up, and this person will be always feeling responsible for everybody. They will be a little bit, their life is marked by a little bit more pain, it seems. Not more pain, different pain. It just feels like there's a load that's been put on them. And I'm saying this because I truly believe that it's just tell me why it happens. I don't know, but it does. And that person is the breaker. They are the one that is supposed to rise up and break the cycles, the mindset cycles, the generational trauma on their family line. Gotta turn my heater back on. Now, it is every human being's responsibility, let's be clear, to try to break cycles. It doesn't exempt other people, but there will be someone who is like supercharged with a commission and a power and a grace, right? Grace is power. Power is grace. The grace of God to accomplish this. All right, let's park that for a second, because I believe you are that person, or you wouldn't really be watching this. Life is not easy. you're probably a very tricky person, and I was saying this. These are complicated people. They're complicated, okay? They have a big job to do, but my point is, you have to remember that you are fighting for more than you. When this opposition is coming against you, it would not be coming against you if you were not taking ground. So here's my guess. When I released that video about that call to action, let's have courage, let's go take, the ground that we need to take in 2026, right? New year, new cycle. Okay, I'm guessing